Hello and welcome to a Smurd P video, and today we are looking at Something is Killing the Children issue 39 as we head to issue 40, and Boom Studios have teased that something big is going to happen, and then I guess there's going to be the usual break, and then we're going to get hit hard with the new story arc, and it looks like we're finally gonna perhaps see some of these houses maybe at war or something. I don't know, but it will be interesting to see that wider world and how that's going to affect Erica out in the wild. So apologies. Erica is going to therapy, and she has sort of come here to see what it's about. And this gentleman, who is a therapist, is actually quite all right. Surprise! I think I got some therapy out of this issue as well. He starts beginning with sort of talking about there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, and maybe that's what she's trying to find out. But he says that it's for you to decide. Then she wants to know how it sort of works. Do you ask me if my mom did something bad or something like that? The usual stuff, which is sort of stereotyped with therapy, etc. So he asks the question. And he says, and obviously she says, well, she died. And then she sort of starts feeling like perhaps it's not a good idea. He says, well, you're paying for it, so you can talk for a little bit. So they start to sort of get into it slowly, etc. So she sort of teases, maybe you should ask about the stitches. So we asked about the stitches. She said, I can't tell you. So she's sort of playing perhaps little games, etc. So we get into a bit about mum, dad, and her friend dying, and she survived. And she sort of says about an animal, and you can see in the background little octopus there. But this is probably, I can't remember this before. This is probably the first sort of time we've seen perhaps why is an octopus. Look at this. This is a massive, big creature. And I feel like they hopefully, maybe they'll just tell that origin story one time. Maybe I'm wrong, and I do apologize if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've read all of the first arc, so I can't remember if it was ever shared in there. Or whether it was just sort of hinted at. So it's quite interesting to finally see something on paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. So Jessica saved her life, and she raised her, and she starts crying. She's not a crier, but she seems to not being able to hold things in at present. Then she sort of diverts after he wants to talk about Jessica. She diverts and starts saying, you talk to other children in your profession. He says, I'm not going to talk about other patients, but we learned that the next sort of child psychologist is about nightmare drive. So he does end up seeing children after divorce, etc. And she wants to know, what about a friend or a sibling that dies? So this is obviously leading somewhere. So they talk about crying, and I think we've sort of understood that St. George is not a place for children. We've seen some of those past things, in particular with Aaron. So about crying, and basically if you cry, you're considered weak, and then you become a target, and that's what Aaron used to do. And Erica says, Aaron used to try and make me cry, but I was a lot meaner. And basically, Erica switched off these emotions. And she's trying to switch them off now because she can't control them. But you can see how they're sort of describing how difficult it was to be a child in there. And then we start talking about Jessica. Jessica was a crier, especially if she drank a lot, because that was her sort of coping mechanism. So she would drink a great deal. And Erica has asked, is she weak like the other children that's been mentioned? And she's like, well, yeah. because if she wasn't weak, she'd still be here. So she didn't have discipline, and she let other people pick up the slack. So we know that Erica used to pick up the slack because Jessica was too intoxicated with her. So he asked a question, "You angry?" And she says, "No. This isn't why she's talking to him." And then, sorry, and I think I've said it a bit earlier about the crime bit, about her wanting to switch off the emotions, but he says, you know, these emotions are meant to be let out, and if you don't let them out, they can become messy. So we talked about how Jessica died. It's over a year, and this weekend coming. So interesting timing, and we just see a dead body here. Once again, I can't remember if this has been shown before. I seriously need to go read some old stories to jog my memory, which is a key to this issue, is memories. So she's dead, but I can't remember how. And he starts saying about everybody gets kids backwards. Kids actually, they think that they're a lot of emotions, but actually kids like logic. But they're trying to understand why these emotions happen when people are taken too soon. And it's a way for our memories to remember. So the emotions is used as a way to remember things. So love, hate, not from a sentiment perspective or nostalgia. It's important. So when it comes around again, we remember it, so we don't get hurt again, or we understand that hurt perhaps a little bit better. So Erica likes this, and he seems chuffed with himself, and he tries to book more appointments, and she's like, "No, I'll be long gone. I'll be long gone." And our story pretty much ends with there's a girl a mile down the road. She's 14 years old. She's lost her brother. It'd be nice if you told her what you told me. So basically, she was scoping out a therapy session. And then she goes above and beyond by giving him money to cover these sessions. And then he tries to give her a card. And you can see the sort of resilience here. And she eventually takes it. So I do hope we see this therapist again, because actually I really enjoyed this issue. This issue was... it's been one of my favorite off this short little in between era, etc. It was smart, witty, and don't get me wrong, I think I figured it out quite early that it was leading to something along this line anyway, because that's what James does. All his stories start off somewhere and they lead to a sort of outcome at the end. So, which is great. And I've said when these do, I know why they do these filler issues. It's just a gap between the bigger arc, just to break things down, make things a little, not too relaxed, but a little bit too relaxed. A little bit relaxed, we don't see much monsters in here, and perhaps there's a smaller focus. So, but I am looking forward to getting back into that bigger story. So, James Tynion the Fourth is on the write-in as always. Illustrations by Werther, Dell'Edera. Absolutely stunning. Colors by Miguel Murto, and World Design is on the letters. And I really hope that this team continues. I don't feel like this series continues without all these team members, because they all play, they all, in my mind, play a pivotal role. I've also purchased Hello Darkness, so I will be running through that soon. I'm quite looking forward to that, and that does have a little story from Something Is Killing the Children. So, fantastic issue. Very impressive. Very happy with that. Hope you like my video. If you do, please support my channel by subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel. Please look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.